Type swap. In this video, we're taking random Pokemon and then drawing them as a brand new type and trying my absolute best to make them fit into the Pokemon universe with a backstory that makes sense, stats, abilities, and a Pokedex entry. And make sure to stick around to the end to see what this Mewtwo looks like. Let's draw on the iPad today. Hey, what's up? Moxie here. Today, I feel like messing with some of our favorite Gen 1 Pokemon. Not you. We're using two random generators. One to generate the Pokemon and one to generate the type. Obviously. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of the future episodes, and let's just go. God, I'm like genuinely nervous. Alright, screw it. I'm just gonna press the button. Haunter! Oh, thank God it's someone good. Okay, what type are we gonna get? Steel! Okay, Steel is top 4 types. It's in my top 5, definitely. First up, Haunter as a Steel type. So probably like you just did, I pretty much just pictured a Haunter Steelix combination. A Haunter completely covered in big sheets of metal. I started drawing Haunter basically as he is, but began to implement some of the heavy, chunky design aspects from Steelix's head. I was debating if his hands would actually be connected to his body. Would he crawl around on them like a Heatran? Or is there a way he'd still be able to float? Are they somehow connected with the magical powers of magnets? But then I remembered the old theory about how Voltorb were actually just haunters that possessed Pokeballs and got stuck there forever. Have you ever noticed how they have the exact same eyes? Yeah, something's going on there. Maybe that's why they're always exploding and stuff. They just want out. But that was the connection I needed to make this transformation happen. So here's what I came up with. Here's how Haunter became a Steel type. From the top of the Pokemon Tower in Lavender Town, you can see the power plant. One Haunter decided to head down there to see what kind of trouble they could get up to, and found that they could scare trainers by possessing all the weird stuff in there. Eventually, lots of Haunter would head to the power plant. Some got stuck inside Pokeballs, becoming Voltorbs, but others would possess random scrap junk metal to scare trainers. They loved doing this so much that they would actually stay there. Some stayed so long that they fused with the metal they possessed, becoming Steel types themselves. Initially, these new Steel type Haunters couldn't float because of how heavy they were, but the Magnemite and the Magneton in the area taught them how to use magnets to levitate just like before. Alright, you ready to see him? There's our big Steel boy. I decided to keep his base stat total the same, but these Haunters became much more physically based, with high attack and defense. Because of their new bulky forms, they are a lot slower. They get to keep their levitate ability thanks to the Magnemite and the Magneton, and even learn a few new punch-based moves like Bullet Punch and Thunder Punch. I guess this means these Haunters would evolve into Steel Gengars.
Haunter, the possessed Steel Pokemon. Haunter from Lavender Town traveled north to the power plant to scare trainers by possessing junk metal. These Haunters stayed there so long that they got stuck that way.
Who's next? Golem. Now you already have an Alolan form, but it didn't really change your design much, so I'm just gonna roll with it. I get it. Okay, random type. Dark type. Whoa, dude, things are getting spooky up in here. Oh, I got an idea already. Golem as a Dark type. Once again, I'm just starting with some basic circles. I mean, what else do you expect with Golem? I surrounded him with his own floating rocks and gave him this dark, shadowy fire aura. I started giving him more of a skeleton head with horns, but I felt like it was going a bit too far. It's hard not to cross the line into Ghost type while designing Dark Pokemon. I found myself kind of thinking of Houndoom while I was doing this. I ended up pulling it back a little bit. I pulled inspiration from the myriad of dark and shadow Golem enemies from your traditional fantasy RPGs, but I still wanted it to tie back into what Golem is, you know? Here's some weird Golem facts for you. Golem sheds its skin every year. Its skin being its rock shell. It also somehow uses explosion to bounce itself from mountain to mountain. What the hell? By the way, have you seen those Japanese artworks of the Pokemon exploding? They literally explode into pieces. It's nuts. Well then, what happens to a Golem who explodes too many times? Well, here's what I decided. Here we go. Some Golems explode so many times that their body can't put itself back together. It takes a lot of energy to be able to explode yourself like that so many times. Maybe even the energy of a star or a black hole. Yep. This Dark type Golem is a black hole, with the shell of its former self floating just outside its event horizon, barely holding itself together. Check him out, these little sprites are the best. This Golem form is basically the opposite of what it used to be. It has huge offenses, basically no defenses left to speak of, and its speed doubled. I want to give this thing its own special ability. It should be able to use Explosion and Self-Destruct as many times as it wants to without dying. Cosmic Exploder changes those two moves to Dark type, and will always leave the user on 1 HP. Broken. Let's give him access to some new special moves like Dark Pulse, and let's give him Shell Smash. That'd be so OP. Shell Smash then spamming Explosion? God.
Golem, the black hole Pokemon. Golem that explode too many times eventually put out so much power that they collapse in on themselves, becoming a black hole. They became numb to their explosions and often go off without any reason.
By the way, comment what Pokemon you'd want to see type swapped and what type you want them to be swapped to, and maybe I'll do another video. Why not? I'll feature your comment and draw your idea. And hit like while you're down there. Alright, we're doing at least one more. And I'm nervous again. I don't know why I didn't get nervous for Golem. Alright. Oh, Lapras! Yes, Lapras has so much potential. Please be a good type, please be a good type. Sick. That's a cool combo. Something a bit more lighthearted. Lapras is a flying type. We're gonna get really loose on Lapras, focusing more on long lines, bigger shapes, not so many circles this time. I'm thinking more like a longer Dragonair kind of shape, not that quite that long, a bit more majestic with massive wings, huge wings. I'm almost feeling like Togetic meets Dragonair. Turning Lapras's fins into wings seems like the easy option here, and that means 4 wings. Cool. You know what, because of all these swirls, I think I'm gonna make her part fairy as well. I think that suits Lapras's personality quite a bit. And if she's going to be part fairy... Ooh, yeah, I'm sticking to it. Let's make a little horn nub become a complete full-size unicorn horn. So how did Lapras become a flying type? Well, here it is. I went diving into the Pokedex entries, and apparently Lapras are really helpful Pokemon. They actually ferry people around because they want to. So they're really nice to people. But Lapras gets hunted, like, nearly to death. Like, they're nearly extinct. That's why there's so few of them. So here's where the story begins. Because of this overhunting, Lapras were forced from the seas. Because of their positive outlook, they looked to the skies. Over a long period of time, Lapras grew wings by diving underwater and jumping. The bigger the jump, the closer they got to flying. They evolved wings in the same way bipedal animals did. Just keep jumping. Psh, you know how whales dive out of the water? Is it whales that do that? They were forced to dive and jump more and more from the hunters to get away. And the bigger their flippers were, the further they could go. Till eventually, they were able to fly. Alright, let's have a look at her. The flying and fairy Lapras. I wasn't sure about the pink because I thought it might be too different, so I changed it back to blue, but I think I regret that. Not sure. Let me know what you think. Once it escaped from the humans hunting it all the time, its need for super high defenses and super high HP was lowered a lot. It unlocked great speed due to these new wings.
Lapras, the transport Pokemon. This gentle, helpful Pokemon was forced from the waters after being almost hunted to extinction. They eventually grew wings and took to the skies. They forgave humans and occasionally returned to the ground to help those in need.
Bonus round! So it's the next day and I kind of felt like doing another one. I know I'm breaking the whole Nintendo rule of 3 thing here, but well, shut up, this is fun. I'm probably going to regret this, aren't I? Oh boy. Oh shit. Hello? Why have I never even thought to draw this before? What an awesome idea. So I broke my own rule here and started drawing his head first. I was just too excited, okay? My immediate reaction was to give him traits from fire types around Kanto. I gave him Magmar's little ear horns and figured he'd have mostly the same body, but I wanted his hands or forearms to be lit up, kinda like Mega Blaziken, but more compact and dense. I decided his chest piece would have the appearance of being on fire, like it's made out of that shape, but isn't actually on fire, sort of to break up the design a bit. And of course, he needs the trademark Generation 1 tail on fire thing. I also gave him an extra toe to kind of feel more like a mammal, I guess. I don't know about mammal, just less alien, you know? Damn, I am happy with that sketch. Anyway, how is there a fire Mewtwo? I hear you ask. So a lot of people seem to think that there's only one Mewtwo, but actually, there are apparently at least 2 Mewtwo out in the world. The one in the Genesect movie is a different Mewtwo than the one in the Mewtwo Strikes Back movies. We also know that originally Team Rocket had tried and failed multiple times to create Mewtwo. How did they fail exactly? Well, it's Team Rocket, so there's probably a few reasons, but well, I'm about to make one up. One of those failed experiments involved accidentally including extra DNA in the mix. There was some left over from fire Pokemon, like Charizard and Magmar. The Mewtwo that was born from this accidental experiment became exclusively fire type and bore features from fire Pokemon from the Kanto region. This is why it has Charizard's color scheme and Magmar's horns and pattern. speed matches his classic psychic form, but he has even better attack and special attack, pulling deep from Charizard's DNA, taking Charizard Y's special stat. It even gets access to the Fire Starter signature move Blast Burn. However, it also took the very low HP stat of Magmar and the average defenses of a regular Charizard. Its ability changed to Magmar's main ability, Flame Body, and its hidden ability is Charizard Y's Drought.
Mewtwo, the genetic Pokemon. This Mewtwo had its DNA accidentally combined with the fire types of Kanto. The result was a hyper-aggressive Mewtwo with energy it could not control. It burned itself and its laboratory down.
Remember, hit the like button if you liked it, and subscribe if you want more of this stuff. Make sure to watch my video drawing Pokemon as Animal Crossing villagers. We got a Pokemon Fusions video coming up soon as well, and Smash Bros Fusions. What? Check out my Twitter and Instagram for the final art. Also, don't forget to comment what your type swap would be, and I'll draw it. See you down there.